We had started a small and slowly building a platform where we are inviting great speakers from different background, from different stream, and they are sharing their stories, experiences, and contributing in whatever way they can. And it's certainly going to create a big platform where everyone will be benefited. Because as you know, the platform of TED actually they brings the best mind all across the world and connects with the community, connects to the society, and just give a one right message, one good idea will certainly change a lot and it will help everyone. We all are facing the great crisis, first time in our life history, this COVID situation, what to do, where we are going, lots of uncertainty to students, to parents, to corporate, to government level, everyone is in doldrum. आज का हमारा जो सेशन है, सबसे पहले मैं आप लोगों को बताना चाह रहा हूं कि we want to address our young generation, students, those who are aspiring a good career in future. कैसे वो कैरियर होगा, क्या वो कैरियर होगा, in this lockdown what to do, how to do, and how to create a platform for their own future. आपकी पढ़ाई के चैलेंज क्या हो रहे हैं, आपके स्कूलों के चैलेंज क्या हो रहे हैं, आपके कॉलेज में क्या हो रहा है. If you want to be an engineer, if you want to be an IAS, if you want to be a medical professional, management, whatever you want, if you want to do some business, you want to be an entrepreneur, वो जो जर्नी है, वो जर्नी के लिए आप what you need to do. And for that, we are very fortunate for this session. We have selected a topic, decoding dream, aspiration, and success. It looks very simple, but to achieve or to convert your dream into success, a huge amount of aspiration, your ability to do something, ये बहुत जरूरी है. सपने सभी के हैं, वो आकांक्षाएं, वो जो एस्पिरेशन है, सबके अंदर स्ट्रॉन्ग डिजायर है. बट कुछ लोग उस सक्सेस को पाते हैं, कुछ लोग बहुत सक्सेसफुल होते हैं और कुछ लोग एक्सट्रीमली बहुत सक्सेसफुल होते हैं. We are very fortunate that today we are having one great speaker, very esteemed speaker, great experiences. But आज हम उनके बारे में, उनके जर्नी के बारे में सुनेंगे. उन्होंने अपने पूरे चाइल्डहुड और अपने स्कूल लाइफ, अपने कॉलेज लाइफ में उन्होंने क्या सपने देखे हैं, उस सपने को डिकोड कैसे किया है, उस एस्पिरेशन के साथ उन्होंने काम कैसे किया है, क्या मेहनत उन्होंने किया है, क्या पागलपन उन्होंने दिखाया, क्या जुनून दिखाया है. और सक्सेस तो ऐसा है कि पूरा इंडिया उनको सैल्यूट करता है. वी आर वेरी फॉर्चुनेट टू वेलकम आवर स्टीम्ड स्पीकर मिस्टर सुनील बर्नवाल सर, जो 1997 बैच के IAS हैं, एंड नॉट ओनली एन IAS, ही इज ऑल इंडिया टॉपर. इट मीन्स अ लॉट टू एवरीवन. आप सारे बच्चे, स्टूडेंट्स, पेरेंट, गार्जियन, जितने लोग आप देख रहे हो, सभी का एक ड्रीम होता है कि यस टू अचीव दैट थिंग. बट हाउ? ही हैज ऑलरेडी क्रैक्ड, प्रूवन, नो डाउट ऑन दैट. बट वो जो ड्रीम सर का था, जो एस्पिरेशन था, वो जो जर्नी उनकी रही है, वो बहुत आसान नहीं रही है. सर ने क्लास 10th गवर्नमेंट स्कूल हिंदी मीडियम से पास किया है. आफ्टर दैट he took admission in Patna Science College for doing +2. +2 के टाइम में आज सारे बच्चे लोग कोचिंग और पता नहीं क्या क्या कर रहे हैं. सर never took this challenge to go for any coaching. Simple correspondence courses through अग्रवाल क्लासेस जो बच्चे लोग जानते हैं, वहां से उन्होंने कोचिंग किया. And then he cracked ISM धनबाद और वहां पे उन्होंने पेट्रोलियम इंजीनियरिंग की पढ़ाई की. After becoming engineer, उनका एस्पिरेशन स्टॉप नहीं हो रहा था. It was growing. And after doing engineering in 1997, जब रिजल्ट आया, it was just kind of result कि लगा कि इसके बाद तो दुनिया में सब चीज मिल गया है. But what I have found him and why I praise him, actually I respect and love him. In 1997 batch IAS officer, having experience of more than 23 years, his quest for knowledge, वो पढ़ाई, वो स्टूडेंटशिप, वो जो क्वालिटी है वो कंटिन्यू कर रहा है. And throughout his career also, when he was serving as a senior IAS officer to different level, his quest for knowledge, what he did while he was in service, sir ने law में admission लिया. He completed his law degree from Ranchi in 2013. After that, he also did PhD. He did a master in public administration from Singapore University and Harvard University, which is again a very premium institution, जहां से करना सभी के लिए फक्र की बात है. तो 2014 में उन्होंने मास्टर्स इन पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन सिंगापुर और हार्वर्ड से किया. तब तक भी वो रुक नहीं रहे हैं. उनके अंदर जो स्टूडेंट है, जो एस्पिरेशन है, जो सीखने का लगन है. सर ने PhD इन मैनेजमेंट सर ने किया IISM धनबाद से किया इन 2017. टिल 2017 आई स्टिल प्रीफर हिम कि वो स्टूडेंट है, वो नॉलेज का क्वेस्ट है, वो सीखना है. आज हमारा ये सेशन है टू आई रिक्वेस्ट सर टू एड्रेस ऑल स्टूडेंट्स, ऑल एस्पिरेंट्स कि हाउ टू मेक देयर कैरियर, हाउ टू फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल ड्रीम बिग, how to convert that dream into clear-cut aspiration so that success will be okay. And this is not going to be a knowledge session. It is actually a wisdom session. Because sir का जो experience है 23 years in government, उसके पहले corporate की नौकरी, तो he has a huge amount of experience, great amount of knowledge, good judgment skill, and quality of being wise. That's very important. So that's why when you become a wise person, that wisdom, you cannot get it from any school, any institution, anywhere. It comes from experience. So we are very fortunate to have him, and all students, all participants, all parents, all teachers, please hear him because he is going to give you right information and knowledge. So just be with us, and in end we'll have a question answer session with sir also. आप आराम से उनसे क्वेश्चन कर सकते हैं, उनके बारे में जान सकते हैं. अभी हम लोग सर से उनका जीवनी, बचपन, कॉलेज और वो जो सक्सेस रहा है उसका हम लोग सुनेंगे. So over to you sir, man, it's a great honor to host you.
Thank you Rajesh, and thank you everyone, all the participants, especially the students who are participating to hear me. Let me first be very thankful to TEDx Kake for inviting me to address. And I know this is a difficult time of a pandemic in which people are at home. A lot of people have crisis at their workplace. Many people have a lot of uncertainty before them, and therefore they are not in a very clear stage to think what to do next. So आज का जो session है, though I am not a good motivational speaker, and as Rajiv has been insisting me to address on this platform, and as he said that the life's journey itself could be motivating for many of the people who are participating, and therefore I will actually start with my journey. How did I start, and where did I start from, and where I have reached today, and this all may be interesting for many of you. So let me say that the topic itself, which talks about dream, aspirations and success, so it starts with a dream. Of course, I started with a very humble family of seven people living in a one-room house, and that too without any electricity. And I studied till class 10 in a lamp kind of stage where you study together with your brothers and sisters in a laltan. And there, normally you are not used to hearing what is happening across the world, because the newspaper will not come very easily accessible to you. So ऐसे स्थिति में it's difficult to dream, and as my father says, I was not very keen for the study in initial years till class 3, and that time I had a lot of interest in just playing outside home because home as such was small and you have to be out most of the time. And in outside environment, normally you don't go for a study, rather you go for the play. And this rural games, you play almost every game. But good point was I was good at that. So many people said if he devotes more time in a study, probably he will do good in the study also. And that is how the journey started. I got a good teacher who guided me for a study. I had the parents who always told me that study is the thing which can change your status from the present to a bright future. और इस तरह से हमारी जर्नी शुरू हुई. And then I devoted most of the time in a study, which actually took me to the next level. People started saying you are good at science subjects, you are good in mathematics, and therefore you should pursue studies more seriously. And it started good journey. From class 5 I jumped to class 7 because the teachers started saying that you are good at a study, you can just appear in class 6 exam and get into class 7. So since then I never looked back. From class 7 I started dreaming high. People around me, like my parents, teachers, uncles around, because my father was an instructor in a ITI. So he had friends who were instructor in the ITI and also working somewhere. So they were always motivating me that you are a bright child, you should do good in your studies. And then class 7 I started dreaming to become an IAS officer, and this started coming to my mind that I'll have to do a lot of hard work. काफ़ी मेहनत करना होगा और पढ़ाई करनी होगी अगर मुझे IAS बनना है, सिविल सर्विस में जाना है. Of course, to dream high, the society, the family, the neighborhood, it makes huge impact, and that is what has happened with me. The society around me, the schools, the family, they kept guiding me that despite all your constraint, चाहे फाइनेंशियल कंडीशन कितना भी वीक हो, स्थिति कितनी भी खराब हो, चाहे लालटेन में पढ़ना पड़े या फिर किसी भी तरह से पढ़ना पड़े, अच्छी किताबें ना भी मिले, तो भी हमें कोशिश करनी है कि हम लगातार प्रयास करके आगे बढ़ें. और इसकी शुरुआत हो गई. इनफैक्ट आई स्टडीड फ्रॉम अ government high school which was in a place called Barari in Bhagalpur. And those who are from this region, they will be knowing Bhagalpur as such is a small town, but Barari itself is much a smaller place, and hardly anybody could have done good at the district level. And that is the time when I was studying, and I was trying to make big from myself. तो उस समय की तैयारी शुरू करके जब 10th का एग्जाम दिया, then I realized I have a potential, because that is the time I scored very high and got the chance to get admitted in Science College Patna. In fact, landing in Science College Patna itself was a big story in that region, because hardly few students might have made it to Science College. But once I reached to Science College, my dream, of course, was a little more concrete, but the aspirations started building up. And that aspirations had a lot of hurdles, in the sense when I landed at Science College, the biggest problem was the whole change from Hindi medium to English medium. In fact, जब मैं साइंस कॉलेज पहुंचा तो कई क्लासेस में I hardly could understand anything because I didn't know English that well. And जब वहाँ देखा, हमारे जैसे कई और लोग भी थे जो बिहार के कई पार्ट से वहाँ आए थे, and we were staying in the hostel. And in the hostel we will be not interacting much, because lot of in a sense lack of confidence कि पता नहीं बात क्या कर सकते हैं इंग्लिश में. And this kind of environment actually gave me more strength, in the sense I will have to put more effort. And that was done. Actually, I studied more than probably many of my peer students studied, because I thought I have to overcome my medium of instruction, as well as I have to cover the subject. So this actually helped me to put more effort. It also helped me in the sense that within 6 months of time, your basic strength, which was knowledge of math, science, uh, those started coming out, because you learned little bit of English, and then these are the science subject which is more on concepts. So this thing helped me. The challenge came again, because when I landed there, I had to prepare for the engineering exam. A reason, from the family background, in fact, it was difficult to prepare for civil service, taking a normal education of graduation from the in humanities or science from the university. तो हमें पहले सबसे इसकी जरूरत थी कि ऐसी कोई कोर्स कर लें जिससे नौकरी की कुछ एक तरह से गारंटी रहे, और ऐसा रहे कि हमें सिविल सर्विस की तैयारी के लिए हमें अपने घर पे डिपेंडेंट नहीं होना पड़े, और ये चीज हमें कुछ हद तक हेल्प किया. But the problem in science college was a lot of people were going for tuition, they were going for coaching, and I had the problem that spending money for coaching and tuition was an extra burden on the family. So I actually skipped any tuition. I just took a correspondence course, but I decided that this should not be a handicap for me. So in a hostel environment, you see other students going for a tuition, you start taking his notes, but you prepare more than him and you get more marks in the exam. So these also happened with me, and I got through the competitive exam. Of course, I was merit scholarship holder, but normally at that point of time, I got the merit scholarship only after completing the course. So that did not help me in the sense taking tuition or coaching. But the point is, the aspirations for doing well in the competitive exam continued, and I got into competitive exam. The challenge also came at one point that I wanted to get into IIT, and for that you need to appear in the JEE exam. And for the first time in 89, the JEE put the minimum age requirement, which I could not satisfy. So I did not appear for the JEE exam. So at that point, the independent exams like ISM Dhanbad, Roorkee University, I applied, I got through these universities, and I finally decided to join the petroleum engineering at ISM Dhanbad. I was 7th rank in that. So all 6 before me had gone to IIT. So I was the first one to continue in ISM Dhanbad, which gave me a huge experience for the first time interacting with the peer groups besides the study. In fact, these whole efforts to achieve your dream kept on increasing. Reason being there, we saw people coming from all over the country and from very different backgrounds, and most of them very talented. So we realized that every talented person have come and they have a different dream. Some people wanted to go for management, some went for GRE, did masters outside. But I had a dream of joining civil service. So I always kept on thinking that I must prepare for civil service right while I am doing the engineering preparation. But at the same time, for engineering, you need to do well for doing academically well, having a good job at the end of the course. And so during 4-year course, besides getting a lot of advantage of the peer group, I got the advantage of studying more. ISM जिस तरह का प्रीमियर इंस्टीट्यूट है, वहाँ की लाइब्रेरी, वहाँ की कंप्यूटर सेंटर, इस तरह की फैसिलिटीज पहली बार इतना ज़्यादा देखने के बाद the whole effort which you do gets multiplied. हमारी जितना मेहनत मैं अंधकार में बैठ के पढ़ाई करने में करता था, या साइंस कॉलेज के एक हॉस्टल के रूप में जिसमें 4 लोग एक साथ रहते थे और पढ़ाई करते थे। वहां से जब मैं साइंस ISM में पहुंचा, एक कमरे में अकेले, या शुरू के फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर में 2 लोग रहते थे, एंड तब वहां जितनी पढ़ाई और 24/7 इलेक्ट्रिसिटी, वाटर, लाइब्रेरी 24 आवर्स, देन यू हैव कैंपस विच इज सो एकेडमिकली एक्साइटिंग। तो ये सारी चीजें इट एक्चुअली डिड लॉट ऑफ हेल्प टू मी in preparing not just for the engineering subject, also for the civil service exam. And normally जो लोग भी engineering या medical करना चाहते हैं, उनको ये पता होगा कि जब engineering में जाते हैं तो first 2 years normally they teach you the basic subjects, which is maths, physics and part of chemistry. एंड ये सारे सब्जेक्ट्स हमने, चूंकि हमें IAS की एग्जाम देनी थी, तो मैंने शुरू से ही डिसाइड कर रखा था कि मैं फिजिक्स और मैथ्स ऑप्शनल लेके दूंगा. So that decision also was quite early in my life, probably at the +2 level. And so when I did engineering, most of the maths which I studied in engineering, actually simultaneously I was actually covering the syllabus for the UPSC too. तो हमारा जैसे मैथ्स फिजिक्स के यूपीएससी के भी सिलेबस साथ साथ होते थे और इंजीनियरिंग के भी सब्जेक्ट्स पढ़ते थे. इनफैक्ट इन द फर्स्ट ईयर आफ्टर 2 semesters, ISM gives an award for the best science student, and I was lucky to get it, which also emboldened me that I'm good at science subject. So this thing kept on strengthening my strong will and the aspirations for achieving my dreams. So at the end of 4 years, I passed the engineering with 3 gold medals, including the best in whole class, having highest academic achievements, and also getting the job before I passed out. So I got a job in Gas Authority of India Limited. And as I said, I wanted to do job because I wanted to be economically independent and try for the civil service. And one more reason is the way I could not appear for JEE exam. I knew that I can't appear for the civil service exam for 2 years because I was not fulfilling the minimum age criteria. So I was just 19 and a half when I passed out, and I had to be 21 before to appear in the exam. So, many people during that time, I realized went for MBA, went for GRE. It, kept on coming to my mind too, that shouldn't I also think for, going for MBA, going for GRE, which was not difficult, and GRE, in fact, was continuing in the petroleum engineering was much easier. But then I realized this is my dream to get into IAS, and therefore this was, I realized that 2 years time which I am getting is probably a God given period for preparation. So I took this as a preparation time and started preparing for the civil service while I was in the job. And though I had some plan to do for, post graduation, I did get offer in National Institute of Industrial Engineering, NITI, Mumbai, or even I got the lecturership option at ISM Dhanbad because I had qualified CSIR net scholarship and GATE score. So those things were there, but still I decided to go for job, and I did do the job there and started preparing for it. Of course, in job you have much bigger challenges. Reason you are required to discharge some responsibility. At the same time, you have to find out time to study. तो ये जो दोनों की प्रायोरिटी बिल्कुल अलग अलग है और दोनों का कन्फ्लिक्टिंग है, बिकॉज नौकरी में कोई भी एम्प्लॉयर ये नहीं चाहेगा कि आपके पास टाइम हो और आप पढ़ाई करें, बल्कि दे विल ऑलवेज वांट कि आप काम में ज़्यादा ध्यान दें. और ये कन्फ्लिक्टिंग सिचुएशन यू विल हैव टू मैनेज, एंड आई हैड टू मैनेज फॉर 4 years. So first 2 years was generally training, etc. So you have little more time, but later on you have more difficulties. And since I did petroleum engineering, and Gail was doing some new project in exploration. And then there were very few petroleum engineers who had joined Gas Authority. So I was easily pointed out. They put me in the corporate office, and later on directly under supervision of senior officers. So, and whereas my priority was completely different. So this is something many of us face when we are preparing for something else and your job requires to do something else. But still it worked, it went on. And but good point was I was now financially better off. I could join coaching in Delhi. I did coaching for civil service exam, and that time I was so disciplined in my study. I'll do the job from 9 to 5, and from 6 o'clock till 11 I'll be studying, except for half an hour break for the dinner. And next day morning I'll be there at 6 o'clock to study before I go to the job. So this kind of discipline I followed for about a year, which did help me prepare for subjects well. But the whole journey had been primarily I had been quite successful in academics, and I had not seen the failure till that time. Till the first attempt came in civil service. I qualified prelims. I did qualify mains, but I appeared for interview, and I was hoping for the result. I was hoping to get through, and suddenly I see the result. I am nowhere in the list. So this is extremely frustrating. मुझे लगा कि शायद either I'm not suitable for such kind of job, or sometimes even I felt this way, that probably the examination pattern is not suitable to identify the best merit. Probably that kind of thinking also came, because I kept thinking that where did I fail. And जब result का mark sheet आया, I realized I was quite good in physics and math. Where I did bad was I did not do very well in interview. I did not do very well in the essay paper. And then I realized I dreamed big. I did aspire for that. I did prepare for this continuously for the past few years. But I did not realize that this is not just enough. I will have to prepare myself for what exam requires me to. So personality test, essay, and in fact, I was little disturbed in the sense, probably I can't change this in 1 year time. I can't change my personality in 1 year time. I can't change writing skills in 1 year time. So I was in a double mind whether should I appear again or not. But like friends, relatives, parents, they keep telling you that civil service is a different ball game. It's something too many people try, but very few people get in. So it's not your fault. It's just that there are people who are better than you. So there is no harm trying once more.
Yes.
और ये चीज जो है ये हमारी जहन में आ गया कि मुझे एक अटेम्प्ट और देना चाहिए. And this time I focused more on what I had weakness for, and this is where I excelled next attempt. But this next time I was not prepared to see the result, because
Yes.
I was thinking that I may get in, but I may not get into IAS. I may get in other civil service. And therefore, I was preparing for the third attempt, in fact. After the interview, I was preparing for third attempt, and prelims was just 3-4 days later.
Yeah.
When I was studying for prelims, those time in 97, you'll remember, in fact, I didn't have television. So I had a radio on which I used to listen to news. So All India Radio at 8:45, the Hindi bulletin of the news came, and it says that civil service exam results are out, and they mentioned the first, second, third names. I was little, not surprised. I was little not believing it actually.
Yes.
I was thinking there could be Sunil is very common name. and there could be another Sunil, but Barnwal, I was little, thinking maybe could be. And so I again heard the English bulletin, and finally then I decided to go to UPSC in the night at 9 o'clock. I reached 9:30, saw the result. And then, the whole thing is now the history. But the
Yes.
point is, in the whole journey, there has been a consistent effort to
Yes.
chase the dream. It started at class 7, continued till it was achieved. And that chasing of the dream, initial was aspirations which got concretized, efforts were continuous, it went through the engineering time. And though the other academics also were not compromised during the engineering, later on when I was in a corporate, there is so much of distraction. You have a salary in hand, you have people who are not preparing for any exam, they are just enjoying their life, going for movies, going around to market. And I felt I was not doing anything like that. And
Yes.
I was beyond the office hours, I was in the room. So these distractions were too high, and the only thing which stopped me from distraction was the whole dream and the aspiration which I was changing to. So this is very important for everyone, all the students, जो लोग भी किसी भी चीज की तैयारी कर रहे हैं, जिस चीज का भी उन्होंने ड्रीम कर रखा है, उसको अगर चेंज कर रहे हैं, तो हमें लगता है कि डिस्ट्रैक्शंस बहुत कम होंगे. अभी जैसे कोरोना का पीरियड है, एंड आई नो पीपल आर फ्रॉम आउटसाइड वर्ल्ड, काफी कम हो गया है डिस्ट्रैक्शन, इन द सेंस यू आर नॉट गोइंग फॉर पार्टी, यू आर नॉट गोइंग आउटसाइड फॉर मूवी, यू आर नॉट गोइंग टू मार्केट, बट देर आर डिस्ट्रैक्शन विद इन. हम अपने अंदर इतना डिस्ट्रैक्शन है कि हम बात बात में कुछ और चीज देखने लगते हैं. एंड नाउ द मोबाइल एंड इंटरनेट is such which keeps on giving you too many options to distract you. तो अभी का सबसे बड़ा जो चैलेंज है हमारे लिए, वो यही है कि how to stop these distractions and be very focused to achieve these dreams. But let me tell you, this doesn't stop here. When I joined civil service, one of my seniors said, getting into IAS requires a particular set of quality, which is more about hard work, patience, it is more about your intelligence, talent, etc. But getting along the service requires a very different set of qualities. It is all about your attitude, it is your integrity, it is your hard work, and the aspirations to achieve and contribute in the society. So if you have joined a civil service, it is not about a job. Job is, of course, there that you are getting a salary for that. But this is a service where you should aspire to achieve heights to contribute in the society. And therefore, my actually this dream and aspirations continued. It continued, and in fact, after achieving first rank, the euphoria of first rank actually got over within few months after reaching Missouri and hearing to the big people over there who could be the role models and who have been achievers in their life. And then you realize you actually have started a beginning. And it is a beginning of another aspirations,
Yes.
which was to achieve in the life. And I still feel that every day you must chase that dream of achieving something which actually makes you happy, makes you satisfied. And that is what happened in the civil service. From the first day I realized the opportunity it provides is so huge that you can really make you can actually change lives, you can influence life of millions of people. And this is the beauty of this service. And unless you realize your whole influence, as people may be knowing, the circle of influence is so high for an IAS officer. Unless you have a huge circle of concern, you can't be really very effective. That is what I believe in this philosophy. And therefore, I kept on aspiring for achievements in the service, and it can also be seen that there has been always ups and downs in the service, and this was never a problem. In fact, जब भी इस IAS service में ups and downs आते हैं, I found it is an opportunity. The way this COVID time is a big opportunity for many, I realized in service also, whenever there were positions where you had less office pressure, more time for doing something else, I joined a course. And that is how I did my LLB. While I was, initially, yes, I was OSD to governor, and that time I joined LLB. And once I became a collector, it missed for a few years. But then after finishing that collectorship, I came back to secretariat. I completed this LLB course. And then I also realized there is a potential, and the service provides that opportunity. I went for 1 year Harvard and Singapore course for Masters in Public Management. So this is how it all moved. And in fact, joining PhD was also a coincidence that I became a deputy commissioner in Dhanbad. And people said, there is a possibility you can build on your experience. I had, by the time, about 15, 16 years of experience. And people said, you can just build on this experience to enroll yourself as a PhD student and do the research, which can be very useful for yourself and for the academic world. And that is how I joined. And after coming back to the secretariat, I completed it. And today I have all these degrees, which really gives me a lot of satisfaction. I feel when I joined civil service, I was just a graduate. It always I used to feel that I'm not highly educated. I'm just a graduate, got into civil service. And therefore, when you go outside, especially in a foreign university, they look for you are just a graduate. And I found this was a strong weakness, and this I had to overcome. And these degrees actually was result of that. So that is how it has been too. मेरा आप लोगों से यही केवल कहना है कि chasing a dream, you might not succeed every time. You might not succeed in your first try, but leaving it at that stage actually kills the complete purpose of it. Second point I want to mention is dream is something which is not a constraint imposed by society or the family. It is basically imposed by you yourself. And जैसे हमारे साथ और भी कई टैलेंटेड स्टूडेंट थे स्कूल में, जिसे आज भी मैं समझता हूँ कि अगर वो सिविल सर्विस दिए होते तो शायद सेलेक्ट होते, बट वो कहीं सेलेक्ट नहीं हुए. कहीं कोई टीचर बन गया, कोई क्लर्क बन गया, कोई विदाउट जॉब है. बट मुझे इसलिए ऐसा लगता है कि शायद उन लोगों ने ऐसा ड्रीम बड़ा सोचा नहीं. और जब ड्रीम अगर किया भी, जिस समय हम साथ में थे तो साथ में ही पढ़ते थे, probably everybody used to dream more or less similar, but changing that was not there, and people left at some stages, which was where they have landed to. And today I feel chasing dream and putting all effort, and I feel perseverance is the key. Putting all effort is not just enough. Keeping patience and keep on trying and don't leave at any stage is something which is key to success. And I believe today's competitive environment, the students, the type of competitions they get, I think they need to be much more focused. They need to be much more aggressive in chasing these dreams, and that is how they can succeed. So this is what I had to say, but if there are questions, probably I can go more in details to speak.
Thank you, sir, for this wisdom session actually, and you have enlightened us actually by connecting with your childhood memory. ये सब लोग को सुनने में बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है, but when you go and just see कि how difficult it is, because every success, it requires a huge amount of commitment, determination, फोकस जो आपने दिखाया है, एंड यू हैव ऑलवेज टोल्ड कि व्हेनेवर यू हैड सम इश्यूज, सम वीकनेसेस, आपको पता चला, you try to overcome, you try to work on, and then consistently without getting result, you never stop. So that's the beauty that you carry, and that's the success that you are having. So I request each and every students and parents and guardian जो सुन रहे हैं आज के डेट में, just try to guide your children, just all those students, those who are hearing, try to understand. Sir, आप स्कूल टाइम में, एज आई कम टू नो, कि हार्डली 13 प्लस 13 साढ़े 13 साल में आपने 10th किया, 15.5 साल की उम्र में आप +2 करके आप इंजीनियरिंग एडमिशन ले रहे हैं, एंड बिफोर कंप्लीटिंग 20 years यू बिकेम एन इंजीनियर, पेट्रोलियम इंजीनियर, जहां से एक बहुत अच्छा कैरियर सामने था. बट यू चोज कि टू बिकम एन IAS. अगेन यू टुक अ डिसीजन with all determination, and after some time, because at that time you were not eligible to appear in civil services. That's another irony and sad part, but you tried your level best. Yes, I wanted to be. Dream to success, ये इतने सालों तक फोकस वे में, मुझे लगता है कि आजकल के बच्चे थोड़ा सा जल्दी डिस्ट्रैक्ट हो जाते हैं, बहुत शॉर्ट टर्म में चाहते हैं. सर, आप उनको क्या मैसेज देना चाहते हैं कि हाउ टू बी कंसिस्टेंट? एंड
देखिए, मैसेज यही है, या की टू सक्सेस जो है उसमें कंसिस्टेंसी बहुत बड़ा फैक्टर है.
राइट.
हम एज ए चाइल्ड हर कोई कुछ ना कुछ तो ड्रीम करता है.
ट्रू.
और अगर ड्रीम नहीं कर रहा है तो ओवर अ पीरियड कुछ ना कुछ ही स्टिल फाइंड्स कि हमें, हमारे लिए ये इंटरेस्टिंग एरिया है, इसमें हमें जाना है. कुछ बच्चे हैं बोलेंगे साइंटिस्ट बनना है, इंजीनियर बनना है, डॉक्टर बनना है, पुलिस ऑफिसर बनना है, IAS ऑफिसर बनना है. बट ये सोचते जरूर हैं, बहुत लोग सोचते हैं, खासकर इंडियन फैमिलीज, एवरी फैमिली प्रमोट्स दैट काइंड ऑफ ड्रीमिंग बाय द चिल्ड्रन. लेकिन फैक्ट यही है कि सब लोग उस ड्रीम को चेंज नहीं करते हैं. as soon as you land in college and you get into your adolescence, तुरंत हमारे पास कई तरह के डिस्ट्रैक्शन सामने होते हैं. और जो इजी पाथ दिखता है वो बेस्ट पाथ है, ये हमें समझ में बहुत बाद में आता है कि ये बेस्ट पाथ नहीं हो सकता. कई बार हम इजी पाथ पकड़ लेते हैं, जैसे लगता है कि भाई हम कोई सब्जेक्ट ऐसा जिसमें मुझे कम पढ़ना पड़े वो हम पढ़ लेना शुरू कर देते हैं. कुछ चीजें जो इमीडिएटली ध्यान आकृष्ट करती है उसमें चले जाते हैं, और वैसे ही हम डिस्टॉर्ट होना शुरू करते हैं. एंड जिस तरफ हम जाते हैं हमें उसी तरह के फ्रेंड्स मिलने लगते हैं, और जिस तरह के फ्रेंड्स मिलते हैं हमें उस डायरेक्शन में लेके चले जाते हैं. तो अल्टीमेटली द होल फोकस गेट्स लॉस्ट. तो हमारा इन सभी जो एस्पिरेंट्स हैं, दोज हु आर चेजिंग देयर ड्रीम्स, द फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग इज यू नीड टू बी extremely focused and focused on the goal which is dear to you, जो आपने decide किया है. And to achieve that goal, your path has to be little more defined, where distractions can be minimum. और ये चीजें आज के दिन में बहुत ज्यादा हो रही है because of lot of internet, mobile, etc. But I'll tell you कि ये सब रहने के बावजूद भी लोग क्वालिफाई करते हैं, और वो इसलिए करते हैं कि ये these tools could be a big strength also. अगर आपके पास फोकस क्लियर है, गोल क्लियर है, तो आप शायद मोबाइल इंटरनेट का उपयोग उसी के लिए करेंगे, और उसमें करेंगे. एंड इफ यू गेट डीपर इनटू इट, probably you'll find more interesting things coming to you which is of your interest and which falls in the path of achieving those goals. तो ये चीज सोच करके लोगों को शुरू करना है, और तब हमें लगता है कि achievement will not be difficult.
Yes, very true, sir, very true. Sir, one more thing, of your time and even of my time, our only aspiration was to become engineer या IAS या medical professional बनना है. आज fortunately there is a huge scope. उस स्कोप में बच्चों को थोड़ा सा लगता है कि बहुत सारी चीजें एक साथ कर लें, वहां पे भी फोकस का डिस्ट्रैक्शन होता है. तो हाउ टू जस्ट फोकस ऑन द स्पेसिफिक लाइन, ये बहुत जरूरी है. इस संबंध में सर आप बच्चों को क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
मैं एक्चुअली बात सही है, द टाइम व्हेन आई वाज स्टडिंग, उस समय और अभी में बहुत फर्क है। उस समय कैरियर्स वेर क्वाइट लिमिटेड, चॉइस
Yes.
वेर लिमिटेड। अभी चॉइस काफी बढ़ गया है, बट चॉइस आल्सो क्रिएट्स लॉट ऑफ कंफ्यूजन इन माइंड।
Yes.
तो आज के डेट में हमारा यूथ जो है वो चॉइस ही कर नहीं पा रहा है कि उसे करना क्या है।
True.
And that is where this guidance is very important, and where you give lot of options, you also ask them their choice. And ये सब चीज में जो सबसे जो अच्छी बात ये हो सकती है कि this among the various options people have, if they make a choice early in life and then start changing it, it becomes much easier. What
Correct.
people do now is they kept on exploring these options for quite late in life. आप पता चल रहा है कि +2 कर लिए, पता नहीं है हमें करना क्या है, एंड देयर आफ्टर इंजीनियरिंग, मतलब कुछ नहीं कर रहे हैं तो इंजीनियरिंग, मेडिकल या कुछ इस तरह का ज्वाइन कर लिया, एंड देन यू रियलाइज कि नहीं ये चीज बहुत सूट नहीं करता है, and then you keep on changing your goal, which is not the right way to pursue a particular career choice. तो आज के डेट में ये बहुत जरूरी है कि it's better to make a choice quite early in life, and once you make a choice then be very firm on it.
Yes.
आज के डेट में ये भी थोड़ी सी मुश्किल हो रही है कि हम स्कूल में जब रहते हैं तो we have a choice. As soon as we land in a college, we change that option, that choice, and once we go to a post graduation and all, we completely change ourselves.
Correct.
तो ये जो change है, it doesn't take us anywhere, because जैसे अभी आप किसी particular professional career में है, whether you are in civil service or in a private sector or in a public sector or you are an entrepreneur, you keep on thinking the other career option is a better option.
Right.
Probably those who are in government, they think कि private enterprise बहुत अच्छा है. Those who are in entrepreneurship, they think government बहुत अच्छा होगा. But probably every career is good.
Yes.
And her career में those who succeed are quite good options they have chosen. Because
Right.
I did my engineering in '93. I remember, in fact, like Sundar Pichai, he also is a graduate of '93 batch IIT Kharagpur.
Yes.
And today he is CEO of Google.
Yes.
His career choice is quite good. I mean, it's something which is really could be aspired to. So if somebody has chosen a career path and keeps on pursuing it, I think that's the best way to move forward.
Very true, sir. Very rightly said, actually. हम लोग participants है, those who are interested to ask question, so put your message so that कि I will ask my technical team to unmute you. And before that, just I want one more question from sir. सर, आज के डेट में सभी लोग हम लोग पढ़ाई का मतलब जॉब समझते हैं, चाहे गवर्नमेंट जॉब हो, प्राइवेट जॉब हो, पब्लिक सेक्टर में जॉब हो. पढ़ाई के साथ साथ में अगर एंटरप्रेन्योर बनना है, बिजनेस पर्सन बनना है, कुछ अपना खुद स्टार्टअप करना है, ये पढ़ाई के रूप में कभी नजर नहीं आता है. जब बाद में कुछ नहीं करते हैं तब वो लोग प्लान करते हैं. एंड देयर आर वेरी फ्यू कि आफ्टर कंप्लीटिंग ए नॉर्मल कन्वेंशनल स्टडी वो कोई फैक्ट्री लगा रहे हैं, कुछ काम कर रहे हैं. व्हाई दिस गैप? क्योंकि सर इंडिया में आई थिंक वी हैव वेरी लेस अमाउंट ऑफ जॉब and we need to create environment जहां पे बच्चे खुद अपना करें, whether startup हो, इंडस्ट्री लगाएं, कुछ अपना बिजनेस करें. ये कैसे चेंज होगा? ये बच्चों को क्या करना चाहिए शुरू से? What's your view on that?
You're right. Basically, this all comes with the,
Yes.
this cultural value, not cultural value, the generational shift which we are passing through. This initial stages when we were struggling for survival, उस समय job was the the important option, because you have to first survive yourself.
Yes.
अब सोसाइटी में धीरे धीरे अब ऐसी सिचुएशन आ रही है, अनफॉर्चुनेटली देश की स्थिति भी बेहतर हुई है, इकोनॉमिक कंडीशंस लोगों के बेहतर हुए हैं. Now people can think of something which is beyond jobs.
Okay.
कि पहले ऐसी स्थिति थी कि लोग अगर खाने को मिल जाए उसके बाद ही दूसरी चीजें सोचेंगे. अब जब that so that people take advantage of. अब हमें वो सिचुएशन एनेबल करने के लिए कि लोग रिस्क लेकर के जॉब की जगह एंटरप्राइज करें, स्टार्टअप करें, बिजनेस करें, नई चीजें शुरू करें, दे ब्रिंग अप न्यू आइडियाज। ये चीजें करने के लिए हमें अब इन्वायरमेंट क्रिएट करनी है एंड इट मस्ट स्टार्ट फ्रॉम द स्कूल लेवल। बिकॉज हम स्कूल में देखते थे कि कुछ बच्चे बहुत टैलेंटेड होते थे बट वो खेलते ज्यादा थे।
Yes.
उनको उनसे बात करके लगता था कि अरे ये दिमाग बहुत तेज है, बट हम बोलते कि वो थोड़ा कम है। और इसलिए पूरे पेरेंट, टीचर, सबका फोकस उस पे कम होता था क्योंकि वो पढ़ता कम था। अब ये चीजें अब बदलनी चाहिए। लेट पीपल स्टार्ट थिंकिंग दैट देयर आर talent of a particular kind in each person and let him be provided that environment and opportunity to pursue that. ये चीज धीरे धीरे अब हो भी रही है। TEDx कांके जिस तरह का आप इवेंट करा रहे हैं,
Yes.
इससे भी people are able to understand that there are bigger opportunities available. There are people who have succeeded beyond jobs. They started their own enterprise and succeeded. तो इस तरह की चीजें अब सोचने की जरूरत है। बट अगेन माय पॉइंट इज दे मस्ट do that quite early and start thinking to achieve and change that to achieve that goal which they decide in career.
Very true.
In fact, I see in my engineering college some of the best students were very poor in academics, but after they got into job they are doing extremely well because
Yes.
they had talent in them. तो ये सारी चीजें अब निश्चित रूप से बदली है और हमारे देश की स्थिति बेहतर हुई है। हम अगर वो माहौल दे पाए तो बहुत सारे लोग नए एंटरप्राइज शुरू करके सक्सेसफुल होंगे। और इसलिए कोई एक पर्टिकुलर कैरियर ही बेस्ट कैरियर है, ये भी दिमाग से निकाल देने की जरूरत है। बिकॉज एवरी कैरियर कैन गिव द बेस्ट अपॉर्चुनिटी टू द पीपल हु आर गुड इन टू दैट।
Yes, very very true. So now sir, we are opening this session to all participants जो लोग क्वेश्चन करना चाहते हैं। First of all, I'd request Mr. Abhishek Kausal. I think he's from Bangalore, and he has a question to our speaker, sir. So kindly can us unmute Mr. Abhishek Kausal so that he will ask question. Abhishek Kausal.
Hello, good evening, Rajiv sir. Thank you for having me. Hi, good evening, Sunil sir. Really nice to talk to you. Now I really have a feeling like a lot of other people that you should have been a speaker much before. So we only got to hear your question today. We got to see your story also. Really very inspiring. Sir, I have a suggestion and a small question. And the suggestion is that Delhi government, now they have actually made a project wherein they are giving small stipend to school students to try out their hands at entrepreneurship. And the idea is to not take things to their heart and understand that business works, it doesn't work sometimes, and they're promoting this culture of failureship. Now, given COVID, every technology is able to reach any village where a resource will not travel. The person's knowledge will travel through internet. That's one solution side of it. But sir, I actually last month, there was something that moved a lot of us. There was a farmer in Himachal Pradesh. He sold his cow to provide a mobile phone to his children. Now, even if technology is available, what if the resources are not available with a lot of parents who have aspiration for their children? What do you think? So how can we bridge that gap wherein a parent who's aspirational, who wants his kids educated, he might not be educated himself. So how will this gap be bridged either by the government or the participation of industry? What do you think so that technology is more inclusive?
Yeah, good point. अभी जैसे टेक्नोलॉजी तो आई फील इट इज रीचिंग एवरीवन एंड दैट इज गोइंग टू बी अ बिग लेवलर इन आवर सोसाइटी and the gap is going to get bridged quite fast. But जो आप point बता रहे हैं कि resource, how do they mobilize the resource? First, my point is, if the parents or the families start prioritizing this, I think they will manage resource also. The day we prioritize our priority for earning, we get a cow or we start doing cultivation. The day we prioritize the children's education is more important, we do some extra work to earn and give the fee for the schools or some tuition, etc. The example you gave is also important, that the parent prioritized mobile over the cow, because he found the it's more important for the child growth. Of course, government can think of a scheme where they can provide some kind of the family mobilize resources. And many state government has provided mobile phones to the poor families. They have given to SHGs, they have given to even children, and some of the schools have got even tabs, etc. So government is quite aware of this problem, in the sense we will be able to provide the common resource of technology, network, etc. But the individual resource which everyone need to prioritizing it and making extra effort to provision for those resources. तो ये दोनों ही चीजें प्रयास करने की जरूरत है, और हमें लगता है if government does it, probably the challenge is much bigger, because our country is big, population is huge, and providing these resources to every family might take some more time. But at the same time, if we create that kind of awareness, that kind of priority in the families, a lot of people will certainly mobilize some resource for their children to access this technology and take advantage of technology to pursue their choice for doing well in the career.
Thank you.
Thanks, Abhishek. Thanks, Abhishek.
Thank you, Rajesh.
So now we have Madhvi Jadhav. She has a question. So I'm unmuting you, Madhvi. Please ask question to sir. And just in a brief, just kindly and give your introduction so that we will know.
Okay, hi. So I'm Madhvi Jadhav. I'm based out of in Satara, Maharashtra, and founder of a startup. It's called That Mate. We work with on sexual and mental health for teenagers. So, sir, I have a small question for you. What was the one thing that kept you motivating, other than parents and teachers motivating you to not to give up the UPSC try? That you said you tried once and then you said कि नहीं अब फिर भी I will keep trying. So what was that one thing that you said नहीं, I have to not give up?
I think I never liked failure. And this something which keeps me aspiring is I don't want to get branded like a failure. So I keep on trying till I succeed. Because given a position I have seen, many a times I do get frustrated. Probably this I can't do much in this situation, but suddenly I get something where I start pursuing and something will happen. So what I think probably such kind of question, I can't immediately think what could be the reason, but one reason I see is I never liked failure and I never wanted to be branded as a failure. So I want to do all efforts, and probably that is my perseverance, that keep trying till you achieve. And this somehow I got it probably from the childhood and then also in the job, that you must keep on trying, never lose heart, and putting hard work and with good intent, normally success do come. So that is how it has happened till now.
Yes.
I don't know how it is.
Oh, that was very, very, it was so good to know. Yeah, it's a good thing to have. No,
I'll just give you one example. I was, a state project director in Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan. So when I became director, I used to get a lot of satisfaction when I visited government schools, because I studied from those schools. So here was the opportunity to improve the school where I studied. And whenever I went to school and met children, sometimes even I felt one of them can be like me. They can also reach
Yes.
to this stage. So if we give this enough facilities to them and create that aspirations in their mind, probably some of them can get in to toughest competitive exam too. And in fact, I'm trying in one of the panchayat that way, and hope in coming future, after few years, some of them certainly will qualify these exams. But the point is, after this post, suddenly I got transferred to a post of Inspector General of Prisons. This post was completely incomprehensible for me, in the sense I didn't know what am I going to do as IG prison. Half the time people thought, even I thought, it is more of a policing job. Whereas once I landed there, and again I said I never wanted to be a failure in even a new post. So I started exploring what can I do as IG prison in 26 prisons of Jharkhand. And then given the whole endeavor to try and find out problems and finding some solution for that, I started applying technology in the prisons, started these correctional activities in the prison, and I realized you are not alone. A lot of people working with you, they all were aspiring for that, and suddenly they all go with you to start many correctional activities. You find a lot of prisoners are equally talented. Many of them are a very being, they are extremely good artists. A lot of imagination they have. They started an art school, painting, etc. So what I find is the new post, which I went with a initial impression of going to be a disaster for me, and suddenly comes out to be one of the best posting for me. In fact, some of the best awards came during that post only. So these kind of things are something which has emboldened my faith of kept on trying to do something better.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Madhvi. Thank you, Madhvi. Sir, now we have Mr. Pawan Kanoi, sir. He's an entrepreneur, good business person, and we know him very well. He's a good parent and always keen to provide a good education to children. So Pawan ji, आप सर से question पूछ सकते हैं.
Good afternoon, Rajiv ji. Good afternoon, Barnwal sir. Sir, there is a question for you, sir. Sir, I know you are an engineer by profession, sir. By virtue of your education, I think normally one gets in-depth knowledge in any one particular subject. But when you enter into a professional life, like joining the Indian Administrative Services, I know that you have served in various departments, like Secretary Industry, like Secretary IT. To serve efficiently in these different departments, sir, one has to know the subject in depth. So now please let me know, how do you adopt in different environment, gaining knowledge so quickly and so efficiently? Number one. And what is your message for the student in this perspective?
Thank you, Pawan. Good that you asked this question. Let me tell you, to succeed in any position, it doesn't require huge knowledge of the subject. In fact, some of the failures have come because of the more knowledge itself.
Yeah.
Because we get subject bias also. If you are an educationist, and if you become a director education, you see education only from an educationist point of view. My point is, being from Indian Administrative Service, we actually provide administrative leadership. So we think a big picture of any particular sector wherever we are posted to. So different department, whenever we are posted, we quickly try to understand the whole object of that department or directorate, or even as a district magistrate district. So you quickly understand what is the object of this department, and normally you are not working alone. You have a team working for you. You have come as a new person in the department, but the team is continuously working on this subject. So our ability is to try and understand quickly the subject and the environment in which we have to work. So once you understand that, the strength which we have is to take a decision. What I found in my case is, ज्यादातर समय जो सबऑर्डिनेट्स हैं वो कहते हैं सर ये प्रॉब्लम तो पहले से स्टडी करके रखा हुआ है, यू नो, यू हैव सो मच ऑफ reports before you, experts report, committees report, etc. And most of the time these have not been acted upon, क्योंकि किसी ने उस पर डिसीजन नहीं लिया. नाउ पॉइंट इज, डिसीजन लेने में कुछ ना कुछ हडल्स रहे होंगे जिसके कारण वो डिसीजन नहीं हुआ. आवर रोल इज टू जस्ट गेट ओवर दैट, study that, because there are valuable suggestions which are there, and somebody will have to apply and finally take a decision. तो हम जब भी नए डिपार्टमेंट में जाते हैं तो हम सबसे पहले अपने ही कलीग्स और सबऑर्डिनेट्स जो है उनके साथ मीटिंग करके भी जस्ट फ्लैग द इश्यूज कि क्या क्या इस डिपार्टमेंट में मेन काम है, क्या हमारा ऑब्जेक्ट है और हम इसके लिए कर क्या रहे हैं. 90% of the time our people have failed because we got into the routine work. हम छोटी establishment, accounts, इसी सब में फंसे रहते हैं. We forget that our main object is something different. So ये चीज हमें करने की जरूरत है, और ये चीज हमें केवल इस जॉब में नहीं, हर जॉब में करने की जरूरत है. If you really want to be a leader, you have to get over the smaller things and think of a bigger picture. It happens even in the student life. If you get stuck in one or two subjects or one or two topics, you just start getting disturbed. आपको लगने लगता है कि मैं शायद क्वालिफाई नहीं कर पाऊंगा, फेल कर जाऊंगा, हमारी काबिलियत नहीं. बट यू जस्ट फॉरगेट कि बिग पिक्चर कुछ और है, उसमें सबके कंबाइंड स्ट्रेंथ चाहिए. आपको सारे सब्जेक्ट चाहिए, सारे टॉपिक्स चाहिए. एक टॉपिक हमें अगर वीक भी लगता है तो कोई बात नहीं है, हम दूसरे से मेकअप कर सकते हैं. उसी तरह अगर आप जॉब में हैं तो छोटी चीजों को छोड़ के, इफ यू थिंक ऑफ अ बिगर picture, even if you don't know the nuances or the smaller things, you can always take a bigger decision after understanding the situation. तो यही हम लोग करते हैं, और हमें यही लगता है कि if you go to any post with an open mind and are willing to listen to others, I think you keep getting ideas. और ये चीज हमारी सर्विस में बहुत ज्यादा हुआ है. इनफैक्ट वी वेर नेवर एक्सपोज्ड टू such kind of job before joining IAS. We were just in an academic environment, जहाँ पे हर चीज secured दिखता है. You have a teacher, you have a library, you have a classroom. हर चीज आपको पता है. You have a certain minimum money to spend. Yes. But suddenly in the job, you find you have to take a decision about something else. Yes. आप दूसरे की लाइफ के बारे में डिसीजन लेना है, सोसाइटी का डिसीजन लेना है, जिसमें कि there are multiple stakeholders. अब वहां पे डिसीजन लेने के लिए the best way is to understand the situation, overcome the hurdles which are there in taking decisions, and finally take a call.
Thanks Pawan ji. Actually, sir, now we have few students. हम दो questions sir लेंगे because we are having a less time also. I request Aditi Gupta. I think she's a student. So Aditi, you ask question to sir.
Good evening, all of you present here. मैं अदिति गुप्ता रांची झारखंड से हूँ सर. मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि मैं एक हिंदी माध्यम की छात्रा हूँ, तो मुझे ये बताइए कि 2012 के बाद ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है कि हिंदी मीडियम का रिजल्ट एकदम डाउन होते जा रहा है. क्या रीजन हो रहा है? आप खुद एक IAS है और खुद मतलब एनालाइज करते होंगे इस चीज को, तो प्लीज इसमें हेल्प कीजिए.
क्या चीज का रिजल्ट डाउन हो रहा है? 10th का
हिंदी मीडियम का. जैसे टॉपर लिस्ट बहुत कम, टॉपर में लोग जैसे आउट ऑफ 10 आउट ऑफ 100 बहुत कम ही लोग हिंदी मीडियम के लोग आ पा रहे हैं. तो क्या रीजन हो रहा है? पहले तो ऐसा मतलब 2012 से पहले ऐसा नहीं होता था।
नहीं, ये पहले भी ऐसा होता था कि मैं हिंदी मीडियम से जैसे पढ़ करके गए और सडनली आप इंग्लिश मीडियम के इन्वायरमेंट में यू हैव टू फेस ए कॉम्पिटिशन। आप हिंदी में एग्जाम दे सकते हैं, आप हो सकता है इंटरव्यू देंगे तो वहाँ भी हिंदी में बोल देंगे। आजकल धीरे धीरे सब लोग अवेयर भी होंगे कि लैंग्वेज को बैरियर अब नहीं मानना है, बिकॉज अगर आप जिस दिन लैंग्वेज को बैरियर मान लेंगे उसकी जो स्ट्रेंथ है उसको किल कर देंगे, उसका जो इनिशिएटिव इनोवेटिवनेस है उसको किल कर देंगे। तो अब धीरे धीरे ये चीज इन्वायरमेंट में आ रही है, जो भी टेस्टिंग अथॉरिटी है या एग्जामिनिंग अथॉरिटी है, इंटरव्यूइंग अथॉरिटी है, उनको ये समझ में आता है। बट प्रॉब्लम यहाँ है कि अगर हम हिंदी मीडियम से कर रहे हैं और जब हम कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम देने जाते हैं और इंटरव्यू की तैयारी करते हैं, हमें खुद पे ही इतना कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं होता है कि हम अच्छा कर सकते। तो बहुत सारे लोग बिकॉज ऑफ द एनवायरमेंटल सिचुएशन की सराउंडिंग में लोग बोलते हैं इंग्लिश मीडियम में पढ़ा हुआ बच्चा है तो बहुत तेज होगा, यू नो, इफ यू हैव स्टडीड इन सेंट जेवियर्स और डीपीएस और तो दे विल से कि ये बहुत तेज होगा। बट आई फाइंड इन द पंचायत वेयर आई कीप गोइंग, द चिल्ड्रन स्टडिंग इन द गवर्नमेंट स्कूल आर एक्सट्रीमली टैलेंटेड। उनसे आप मैथ्स पूछो, आप अगर उनसे कुछ ऐसे सवाल पूछोगे जो कि उसकी लैंग्वेज में है ही नहीं, फिर तो वो बहुत अच्छा जवाब नहीं देगा। बट इफ यू अंडरस्टैंड हिज इंटेलिजेंस, द वे ही इज आंसरिंग, द वे ही इज ट्राइंग, आप देखेंगे कोई डिफरेंस नहीं है। तो हमें जो प्रॉब्लम लगता है वो तो प्रॉब्लम ये है कि हम खुद ही अपने कॉन्फिडेंस को घटा लेते हैं। हिंदी मीडियम में पढ़ करके आप अच्छा कर सकते हैं, सारे कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम क्वालिफाई कर सकते हैं, ये कॉन्फिडेंस हमें बिल्ड करना है। हमें अपने बच्चों में ये कॉन्फिडेंस दिलाने की जरूरत है कि लैंग्वेज को ही कहीं से कोई बैरियर नहीं हो। हम अपने ही घरों में देखते हैं, बच्चा जब इंग्लिश बोलता है तो माँ बाप बोलते हैं बड़ा अच्छा बोल रहा है, बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है, जबकि उसका लैंग्वेज इंग्लिश है नहीं। हम लोगों ने कॉन्शियसली अपने बच्चों को घर में हिंदी बोलना सिखाना, बिकॉज नाउ यूट्यूब पे अगर देखेंगे तो इंग्लिश में स्टोरी दिखेगी, अगर कहीं और चीज देखेंगे तो भी इंग्लिश में दिखेगी। तो नाउ यू हैव टू कॉन्शियसली ट्राई, और ये बहुत जरूरी भी है कि मदर टंग में बच्चों को एजुकेशन मिले, दे स्टार्ट लर्निंग द कंसेप्ट ओनली इन देयर मदर टंग and then build their confidence to face this competitive environment with a lot of confidence. तो ये कोशिश करने की जरूरत है।
थैंक यू अदिति सर। नाउ वी हैव माधवी मृणाल, डीएवी हेहल की स्टूडेंट है। माधवी, यू कैन आस्क क्वेश्चन टू सर डायरेक्टली।
गुड इवनिंग सर।
गुड इवनिंग
sir, I have a question that keeping in mind that how our society is, and I would like to ask a question that whenever you try to impose a scheme or anything for the welfare of people or society, there might be a particular institution or a group of people that who would oppose for that. Sir, how do you manage that kind of situations? How do you manage?
This is very common thing. It happens even in home. आप घर में भी कुछ नई चीज शुरू करेंगे तो कोई ना कोई अपोज भी करेगा, but you what do you think it becomes the deciding factor? The deciding factor becomes what is good for the welfare of overall family. और similarly आप अगर कोई नई स्कीम लाएंगे तो of course there will be some people who will get affected too. Some people will be positively affected, some people will be adversely affected. जब adversely affected होते हैं तो वो अपोज भी करेंगे। अपोज जब करेंगे तो आपको प्रिपेयर्ड रहना है टू आंसर देयर रीजंस फॉर अपोजिशन। और दिस इज द ब्यूटी ऑफ आवर सोसाइटी दैट वी encourage such kind of difference of opinion. The only thing is difference of opinion should not get converted into opposition to the extent to kill the scheme. अब जब हम लोग गवर्नमेंट में रहते हैं, we bring up the schemes. Normally the welfare schemes are more impacting positively, but there are vested interest which gets affected negatively. So वैसे लोगों के लिए you should be ready to face, because some of them could be influential, they can scuttle the scheme, and then finally you have to take a risk to decide and implement. मतलब there is no way that you can just say कि कुछ लोग oppose कर रहे हैं इसीलिए अच्छी चीजें नहीं करेंगे या postpone करेंगे. As a administrator, or for that matter at any position where you hold a leadership position, where you are the deciding person, I think before you the only option is to weigh all the difference of opinion, think in the overall interest, and finally take a call to implement it. तो गवर्नमेंट में भी हम लोग ऐसे करते हैं, और आता है, प्रॉब्लम्स आते हैं, बट प्रॉब्लम्स के साथ हमारे पास सॉल्यूशंस भी आते हैं. लॉट ऑफ पीपल who are for the scheme, they also give you good support and suggestions to implement it.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mark. So now we will take a last question, sir, because we are having a less time right now. So Prerna Kesari from DAV Hale again. Prerna, can you unmute, or Kailash, can you unmute her? Prerna Kesari.
Yes, sir, already unmuted.
Yes, please ask your question.
So my question is how to keep motivated ourselves all the time.
Okay.
Just repeat, I couldn't get your question.
How to keep ourselves motivated all the time.
So to keep yourself motivated all the time is, don't get motivated anytime. Don't get demotivated anytime. In the sense, बहुत सारे ऐसे circumstances आएंगे where you might get demotivated, and then you have to find a something which keeps you motivated. जब बहुत adverse situation आता है, and students के लिए adverse situation क्या आता है? आपको मन नहीं लग रहा हो पढ़ाई में, कोई घर की ऐसी conditions आ गई, health conditions आ गए, घर में कोई बीमार पड़ गया, इकोनॉमिक कंडीशंस ऐसे आ गए, उस समय आपको डिमोटिवेशन होता है, या फिर आपको इन्वायरमेंट ऐसा स्कूल में मिला जिससे आपको डिमोटिवेशन हो रहा है. सो नाउ if you are getting such kind of reasons for getting demotivated, please find out reasons for getting motivated.
Yes.
And reasons for getting motivated is what? Is your goal, your what you want to achieve, the whole dream and aspirations. तो आप जो है अगर उस पे फोकस करेंगे and make sure that to achieve any goal it is not free from constraint. ये सारे जो reasons of demotivations हैं, they are the constraint.
Yes.
आप इन constraint को ले करके अपने गोल को अचीव करने की सोचें. ये सोच करके नहीं चले कि सब कुछ आइडियल सिचुएशन होगा और तब हम गोल अचीव करेंगे. सिचुएशंस एडवर्स होंगे, सिचुएशंस डिफिकल्ट होंगे, कंस्ट्रेंट आएंगे और उनके साथ आप अचीव करेंगे. बट आई एम श्योर इफ यू हैव दैट लेवल ऑफ परसिवरेंस यू विल अचीव, बिकॉज कभी भी जो डिफिकल्ट टाइम है, एडवर्स सिचुएशन है, वो लगातार नहीं रहता है. सिचुएशन डू चेंज, and if situation continues, you yourself change to manage that situation well. So that way you gain a strength to manage adverse situation. So in both ways you become much more capable to achieve your goal and be motivated to what you are aspiring to.
Correct.
So इस तरह से ही करना आपके लिए अच्छा है.
So thank you, sir. Thank you for this wonderful wisdom session. Actually, we all got totally engrossed with all your experiences. इसमें कोई शक नहीं है. The topic was decoding dream, aspiration, success. मैं उसको थोड़ा acronym आपके सामने रख रहा हूँ. DDAS. So if you just understand that this acronym, don't do anything stupid. Or in सर के तरफ से do daringly and smartly always. So you have to be very dareful. You have to do all the smart work. This is what you can crack your dream. You can get your aspiration going, and success will automatically come. So, sir, we all were actually enriched with this great session. सारे बच्चे, parents, teacher जिन लोगों ने आज देखा है, and we have done this on Facebook Live. हम लोग TEDx कांके के YouTube चैनल पे इसको अपलोड भी करेंगे, तो सारे बच्चे इससे लाभान्वित होंगे और इसको देख सकते हैं कि हम लोगों ने आज क्या डिस्कशन किया है. Or we all know that TEDx Kanke is keen to bring the best idea, best person, so that we all will grow together. Our objective is to grow this community by sharing our ideas and experience. It's amazing platform. So whenever you want to know something, what's happening all around India, just log into TEDx Kanke and you see what's happening there. You will find some unique thing. And for this sort of session, as we had started in the month of May, आज सर हमारी 17th webinar series है, and we are very fortunate that we had invited great speakers from senior bureaucracy, from industry captain, from educationist, and we are very delighted to share their experiences, and it has helped a lot to millions of people. And for this initiative, we have a very small team, those who are working voluntarily, and we are trying to build a platform. इस टीम में हमारे साथ में मिस्टर कनिका मल्होत्रा काम कर रही हैं, मिस्टर कनिष्क पोद्दार हैं, सरवन जाजोदिया हैं, कैलाश मांझी हैं, प्रवीण राजगढ़िया जी हैं, विजेंद्र शर्मा हैं, ऋषभ मलिक हैं. हमारे इस टीम में एक फुल टाइम लाइफ लॉन्ग उन्होंने बोला है साथ देंगे. दे आर विद अस एज ए पैट्रन, मिस्टर सरवन जाजोदिया, मिस्टर अतुल अग्रवाल, मिस्टर रोहित त्रिपाठी. ये लोग मिल करके करें कि रांची को, लेट अस मेक रांची एन आइडिया हब, and we will certainly make Ranchi an idea hub with the objective कि हमारी community, हमारे लोग grow करें. और ये जो positivity है, इस positivity को हम लोग लेकर के दूसरे states में, pan India और बाहर में लेकर के जाएंगे. This is a platform we are trying, and we are just doing a little bit slow कि हम अपने society के लिए contribute कर रहे हैं. And we are grateful to all our great speakers. आज के सेशन के लिए सर मैंने तहे दिल से, we are very fortunate and it's a great session कि आपने अपना टाइम दिया, more than 1 hour. Sir, I can understand your busy schedule also. Last one thing sir, before I end actually, इस कोरोना टाइम में 4 महीने में to motivate yourself at a personal level, सर आप क्या करते रहे हैं? क्योंकि it's very tough time for all of us. We want to hear you, then we will end this session.
See, the first time I have got so much of time for myself.
Great.
So what I am doing today is something which I am trying to do, give whatever experience and knowledge I have to, through some mechanism, to contribute to whomever, who need such kind of sharing of knowledge and experience. Second, for the first time, I'm also pursuing some of the things which I could never pursue in life because I was more focused on study. Yes. So now I'm, reviving all old things. I'm focusing my skills on yoga. I have started doing cycling, and the way I'm getting a lot of energy is so much activity coming to my mind. That beyond the government job, so many things can be done. Yes. And a lot of things are so empowering. It is not just contributing to society, also giving the confidence to yourself that you are so important to for improving the lives of many people and improving the conditions of society. So now I keep getting good stories from so many sources. Yes. And start applying to wherever it is needed, and trying to connect many more people whom with the positive thinking. Yes. Probably a lot of things can be done. So this 4 months period has been extremely productive for me.
Wonderful, sir. Wonderful.
Initial few days when I was completely unaware of what should I do, but soon I found some way of utilizing the time.
So whenever we have a tough time, self-awareness and self-management is the key that you can overcome all the crises.
Yes. The good point is the good point is people start forgetting what their own strength is. While you start working, you get bogged down by the work and by the external environment, that you start forgetting that you have so many inner strength. maybe some of the
Yes.
interest you never pursued, some
Yeah.
of the qualities like your whole perseverance, which I only
Yes.
used in studies, it was there for many other things too. And then your whole way of addressing an issue,
Yes.
solving a problem. And now I realize in day-to-day life there are many opportunities where these skills can be utilized, and therefore I find finding time for yourself is extremely important.
Very
And probably this pandemic time has given that opportunity to
true.
me.
Oh, so that's a great insight, sir, and there is no doubt on that. और हम लोग मिल करके सर ये सारे बच्चे आज जो हम लोग का सुने हैं, आपका जो सुने हैं, they will certainly get a real insight और अपने भविष्य के लिए एक सोसाइटी के लिए एक अच्छा एम्बेसडर बनेंगे, and they are a future leader. I know कि they will crack all the things what they want, whether IAS हो, engineering हो, management हो, और entrepreneur हो, startup करना चाहते हो, they have the ability, they can do it अपना. And we together will just coach them, guide them, and all the parents, I request them, just give a space and time to your children. This is a very high time, that relationship bonding is very important, and just keep connected with TEDx Kanke. So thanks all participants, all students, and once again thanks sir for this wonderful session, sir. Thank you very much, sir. From core of my heart, we are grateful to have you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajiv, and thank you everyone. Thanks all.